Hey, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It is February the 2nd, 2022. Day 100. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. Day 20 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets and of the 4-year consecutive day count.
Dancer.
Day 1038.
Dance for money.
Do what you want me to do.
Hey, you know what? If that song don't sound nasty, I don't know what to do. That song make you want to just scrub yourself till you white. I mean, yeah. Anyway, but I will be a private dancer though.
Oh yes, you will.
I won't dance for your money, but I will dance. I will dance.
Okay, y'all. Today we are reading.
Today we're talking about some things.
Tablet number 4. And then we are going to hop into my big toe and we're going to possibly finish reading chapter 19.
We ain't getting through none of that today, y'all. Y'all don't even want to hear that today. What you want to hear for?
Let me tell y'all, I'm going to share something with y'all today. Scared the crap out of me. Last night, I'm going to tell y'all what I did. Look, maybe I should wait. I'm going to wait till we get done with the reading.
Man, listen.
I'm going to get done with the reading.
This girl scared herself out her own sleep, man.
Well, you weren't a bit of help, Mr. Murphy.
Ain't nobody got time for all that, man. You playing around with this man, listen, Jack. I be telling you. I'm not scared you be scared. No. You be scared. I'm not scared of nothing. Not that either. You know what I mean? Because hey,
shalom, obedient to y'all. Yo,
man,
let me tell you.
Man, you scared of you.
Some supernatural things been happening in this house last couple days.
Scared for?
I wasn't scared. I was friggin' pissed because I was screaming your name, but you couldn't hear me.
I was hearing you.
Right, that's why I'm looking.
Me and Bella been talking. I'm like, yo, you go ahead.
No, you was talking to Saya. Bella was asleep at the foot of the friggin' bed.
Oh, me and Saya was talking, right?
Yo, I want to look, y'all.
Don't feel violated. What you feel violated for?
When I tell
you gotta play with both rims if you want to play in this world. So keep on talking that talk. You gotta live this life. I told you that about that.
Listen, no, hey, I'm used to supernatural things happening
for the good. That's all you care about is the good. Now you gotta take both ends if you're gonna deal with it, sugar.
But when let's call them the nefarious non-matter physical entity be freaking around messing with me. Look, I got a whole nother compassion. Read a happy Wednesday. The calendar for this month. Yes, I will show it. Yeah, I'm gonna show it. Are you talking about the calendar with the zodiac signs on it or just the calendar? Because we're actually hold on, double check something. Hold on. Joy, hallelujah, grand rising. Yahuwah is one. Oh, great spirit, guide us wherever we are in this world. Let me tell y'all, it's 2 things that happened 2 days in a row. The first day, it really kind of caught my attention because Bella saw who was in the bedroom. She was laying at the foot of the bed. Mm-hmm. You hadn't got home yet. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, she just saw it. So I know I'm not tripping. I'm like, we were sitting in the room because I got this desk chair sitting beside the bed up to my nightstand. I pull my nightstand out. It can kind of be like a little makeshift desk, right? Let me see. Let me just go ahead and share this with y'all. Okay. So during my studies of everything, my big toe.
Oh, that's
right. So
okay, got you. Well, I've been studying some other stuff. I mean, but anyway, go ahead though.
What? Okay, the church will call it what?
No,
what would you call it?
I'm not talking.
What would you call it?
You don't want to scare folks off.
There's somebody to give y'all a freaking warning here. Okay, I'm not even going to give y'all the title of the book that I brought into the house because I don't even want y'all to go looking for it. Right. It was last night that I realized I hadn't screwed up.
And at this moment,
oh shoot! Listen, I have a whole nother compassion for people who may be in comas, because some people could really be there screaming and you can't hear them. Let me tell you. Let me tell you about what happened.
That's no, you can't say that. That's not considered as being a coma either.
But
not screaming out. You get what I'm saying?
We don't really know though. But I was fully awake, alive, screaming.
But you was. I heard you.
You freaking heard me. I was trying to get your attention. It was like I was completely locked down, and I didn't see clearly what it was, but I could clearly tell there was a being there because I saw their hand around my freaking wrist. I had fell asleep. I would fall asleep like this, right?
No, what they call it, some people call it a witch riding your back. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a freaking witch.
But that's what goes.
I know what they say. It wasn't a freaking witch last night. I don't know what it was, but it was freaking huge. Me talking about my darn aunt and her scary house. I'm like, it's time to move. They just found us.
It's gonna chase you everywhere you go.
Guys, I could not go back to sleep last night. James fell asleep across the bed.
Go on, man.
I was like, I don't push him over here. Hey, I'm like, you better wake up. Look. I'm like, and I sat there and I giggled to myself for a second.
Your butt get to go to sleep now. Everywhere you always want to fall asleep everywhere.
Oh, listen. Okay.
I want to go in your little trance. Well, I was gonna go into your other life.
You like to make jokes. I gotta test and see if it's real. Let me tell y'all.
Yo, you funny.
If I didn't believe anything, these last 2 days, I'm telling y'all better not be freaking screwing around.
Not
look,
my head hurt.
Look, it said when you've been set free, you go back and let your brethren go back and get your brethren. I'm trying to let y'all know. Yo, okay, so let me tell y'all before we even get started.
Too funny, dog.
Let me tell y'all what freaking happened. Some real paranormal. I was trying to wait a few minutes. Dana, you here? Look. Oh my gosh. Dana said you going to your other life. He got me cracking. Okay, let me tell y'all what I've been doing.
Real talk, though. Real talk.
I wouldn't necessarily say they're sins. Okay.
You got them that?
Look.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all know me. I'm expanding my big toe, my big theory of everything. Of course, so I'm researching, so I get a lot of books. So, what, you the guinea pig? No, I'm the guinea pig. Okay. So I'm researching some stuff, and now mind you, I got a lot of books from ancient Kemet in here, right? Never anything. Because I think actually the authors that I get is cool. No paranormal activity, nothing. So I came across and I forget which video, but I know it was goddamn Bobby Hemmett.
Stop! Don't listen. Go into that. Don't go into that.
Listen, no, it wasn't even that video though. So you have to be really careful about some of the stuff you watch. Look, Dana, be grown if you want to. I know, right? Man, look, let me tell you something. Look, before I even start telling you, I literally, after James that fell asleep, he is calling hogs.
Wait a minute.
James got so mad last night. He said, look, you better get that book out of here. You don't throw it away, I'm going to throw it away. You don't throw it away, I'm leaving. Look. I'm sitting there contemplating.
I knew what happened. See, and you was like, no, I don't.
No, it wasn't that book. That book, I got that book Thursday. I had to open up Amazon. I said, let me calculate the days when this stuff started happening. That particular book you talking about, I got that book Thursday. This stuff didn't start happening till was it yesterday? Yesterday. Day before, because we day 3 now. Day before yesterday. It was 2 books that came into the house, and I narrowed it down because when I opened up one, I didn't realize it was a bunch of stuff in there about Aleister Crowley and some of the stuff. If any of y'all know who Aleister Crowley is, I'm like, holy crap, this is definitely what it was, because the atmosphere just changed from the time that book came into the house. Okay. But at first, I just thought, okay, the spirits be playing. I'd be like, spirits be playing around sometime. Sometimes these things kind of happen. So I'm like, okay, so
that's the life we live. But anyway, go ahead.
So this was one of the particular books that Bobby Hemmett had mentioned. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me look into that. Because I'm used to looking into angelic, what they call the demonic realm, just looking at stuff just to see what's good information, what's bad information, what's boogeyman information, just to keep you away, right? So that, yeah, clearly y'all don't try this at home. But what I will do, I give I ain't gonna give, well, maybe I should. I'm gonna give you the author so you know to stay away from it, right? So if any, I can't say this about all this particular author's books, but I looked at some of them. He over here shaking his head. No,
don't even stay. So keep on going with your conversation.
So how they gonna know how to stay away from it if they go looking into it? Okay, well, may y'all guide you. I ain't even gonna keep the name of it or the author because he's sitting here like, don't. Okay. You don't want to get that type of. Right. Okay. So here, if y'all got questions about stuff, maybe ask me and I'll let you know, yeah, nay, that's the author, that's not the author. But I won't give you the name. Okay. I won't give you the name. I won't give you the title. Okay. So if you watch some of Bobby Hemmett's stuff, he's always giving book references and everything like that. So this particular one, I looked it up. I was like, oh, that looked kind of interesting. But he had said something, but it was in reference to one of the pictures he showed. So he began to explain, and I watched so many of his little, I forget exactly which one, but I know it was one of the longer ones, right? So he was saying there were certain, because when he teach, he used like pictures of different temples and stuff as he's teaching about the past. And he began to talk about this one particular temple. And he said he found out that he said that when he even have something with that picture on it, it causes all kind of paranormal activity to go on where he at. Right. He said he was even working a job one time in his earlier days because he started researching some of the stuff in his earlier days. And he said he had bought his, because on his breaks he could study. So he had bought his little book with the papers and stuff and the printouts of the temples and stuff in there. So he would look at it on his breaks, just kind of still studying. So at this particular job he was working, he had, like, I guess in a room where he was studying at his job, his stuff was in there. And I don't remember, somehow the picture got up on the wall. Maybe he was, and because some of the video was cutting in and out. So I'm not sure if this room that his boss, a back room or whatever, let him study and he was taking the pictures of them and putting on the wall so he can like look at them. But what happened, there was a grease fire at the job that he worked at, and it burnt the whole place down, right? Everything. So they went back there afterwards. He said, let me tell you how powerful these pictures are and some of these artifacts. He said, in this fire, he said everything, that entire room was burnt up. He said, but this picture was sitting in the middle of all of it. He said it wasn't even touched. He said there is no way possible that, he said it was on a flimsy piece of paper. He said there's no way this piece of paper should not have been burnt up with all the other papers in the room and everything else in there, but it was completely untouched on that wall. Everything else is ashes, right? So he said, oh, there's something more to this, right? So I was like, that's interesting. So he began, don't be rushing me, Mr. Murphy. I'm trying to tell the story.
Come on, man.
He's sitting over here like, get to it. So that's kind of a little background. So it was the same video where he mentioned, because he gave out like names of 10 different books and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I'm gonna go look into it. So the one I picked out, I was like, let me order. I looked it up. It was only like $10. So I always read the reviews and stuff. There were no crazy reviews. Everybody was like, oh yeah, this is good information. This is a rare find and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, so it's probably something good in there. So I ordered it, right? I ordered that, and I ordered another book. But clearly I knew the other book that I ordered, I got quite a few books like that anyway. So I was like, well, this couldn't be it. It was when I opened that book, when I started seeing the stuff in there about Aleister Crowley. Like I said, if y'all know who he is, you know who he is. So he had some major activity going on with his life and some of the things he began to tap into. And apparently some of that stuff was inside of this book that they were sharing. Because when I opened it, I was like, Father, what is this? Okay. So now you got that little background story. Let me tell you what happened the first night. Dana, it started with the movie you recommended. So I thought, So I thought I had to blame it on something. We was watching Jungle Cruise with The Rock, right? It's one of them Jumanji type movies. Now,
go back and remember when that Jumanji. Remember that
that's what I was about to say. And I mentioned that before.
That?
Oh gosh,
Elijah
was 5.
Yeah, go ahead. That was 20 years ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, so okay. So we were laying in the bed night before last, and we were watching Jungle Cruise, right? So it's like like I said, it's like this. It's this Jumanji type movie.
Supposed to be Disney,
right? Supposed to be Disney, right? They going looking for ancient artifacts, and they found out about these 3 eggs, and the third one was in a tomb of Cleopatra. So I'm like, okay, so the movie, it wasn't like crazy. I didn't get any kind of crazy feels from it, but I fell asleep on the end of it, and I still can't tell you the end of it, but I can only tell you what happened to me. And when I woke up, I saw it happening to him. So I'm like, okay. So it got to this end part where they're wait, hold on. I think I got 2 movies mixed up. No, I did. I mixed up 2 movies.
What you talking about?
The movie with the Cleopatra egg. What was that movie called?
That was it. Yeah, there was 3 eggs. Yeah, that was it. With The Rock. That's the movie that we was watching.
No, but Jungle Cruise also had The Rock in it. Is it?
It's the same movie, baby. It's the same movie.
No, because it wasn't. Because at the end, him and the guy, they weren't in any kind of that old time jungle guard.
It was with The Rock. No, you got 2 movies mixed up. It was with The Rock and the funny guy who we always say played the movie. Okay, it was.
Yeah, I think he messing around with J-Lo. Was it him? That guy? That's not him.
Nah, that ain't him. But it's 2 different movies. I forgot.
Okay, I'm mixing up 2 different movies with The Rock. Okay, but it's Jungle Cruise that I'm talking about. That's not with the Mesopotamian eggs. Not that. Forget I said that. That's another whole movie. Okay, thank you, Dana. Yeah, it didn't have the eggs. Okay, so they were actually going to an ancient place where The Rock, he was like the tour guide on the boat. So when it towards the end, like I said, I don't even remember what happened. I didn't rewind it. I was like, I wonder what happened. Okay, so I fell asleep towards the end of Jungle Cruise. And mind you, this was the day I didn't put this together that day. I had this, so I realized, okay, it wasn't possibly Jungle Cruise. It was this book that I brought into the house. So I fell asleep. And mind you, this book is laying Red Notice. Okay. That was the other movie that The Rock was in with Mesopotamian egg. Okay. Okay. So this book is laying on my nightstand right beside my bed. I falls asleep. Now, if something happens in the spiritual realm, y'all lets me know by letting me know that my windows have been unlocked and my front door has been unlocked. That's how I know some spirit has come in, and I need to quickly handle it, find out what it is. So this was a dream I had that first night, right? So I fell asleep in the dream. It was like I was here in this house, and it was like the scene changed. It was like it started off where it was just like this era, the colors and everything, but it was like the scene changed and it changed to a different time. And even in a dream, I said, did we just change dimensions? I said, because it was like an older time. It looked like the 1930s. And I say like the 1930s because if you look at movies from like the 1930s where they're like black and white, that's what it changed to. Same house. It seemed like the same house until I went outside and the porch was different. It was bigger and it was like land in front of the house. It was like a couple houses, and it was like this, it was like that dawn and dusk type look outside, but it was even a little bit more gray. The entire picture was gray. So as I came through the house, I came down the stairs in the house and I'm looking at the house and everybody had disappeared. It was like I went back in time. I'm looking around. I'm like, where did everybody go? I said, did we just change? I'm literally in my dream. I'm aware. I was like, did we just change timelines? And then I walked through the house and I noticed my windows was unlocked. And I thought to myself, how did my windows get unlocked? So I was like, I got to close them. So I went through the house fast, closing the windows like they were unlocked, but they were also lift up. So I went through, but I was aware of that in my dream that, something is coming and my attention has been alerted to my windows. They have been unlocked and open, right? And so when I got the windows, there was like 4 windows I closed, like I went through in rapid succession. push them down, lock them, push them down, lock them, push them down, lock them, push them down, lock them. And I saw that after I got the last window pushed down and locked, I looked towards the front door and I saw the front door, both the bolt locks were unlocked and the door was open, a little crack. So I went flying to the door to go close the door. And I went to go close the door. There was 3 people walking up the stairs, about to walk into my house. They were like 3 Caucasian people. It was 2 men and it was a woman. A woman was leading them, right? And she was coming. They just looked like, I ain't gonna say they look like zombies. They didn't look like zombies. They looked like normal people back in the 30s. But whatever they were really dense, like heavy, like stone. And I only know that because as I went to go shut the door, it was like there was no strength. They just walked right. It was, and I tried to push the woman, but it was like pushing a brick wall. I'm like, y'all gonna get out of here. So I'm trying to push them out, but it's like with no strength, they walking in. It was like I was just like a leaf or something, and it just blew me back. And I'm sitting there, I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get them out of my house? Now the 2 guys, they stood like right there by the door. They didn't come all the way in, but this one woman, she came in and she like stood right in the middle of the living room. She didn't get too far, but she was like right here, like maybe like 5 steps within the house. It was like she couldn't necessarily get any farther, but she was in. And so I'm sitting here thinking, and in the dream, I said to myself, okay, I know Jesus ain't about to help me. I said, so yeah, I need your help. And then I went to go push this woman like with all my strength. And it felt like I was literally like I could feel it, like waking up. I could feel that I had been fighting or something. I went to go push this woman out my house with all my strength, like closing my eyes, like trying to summon up all the energy in my body to push this woman out. And it was like nothing. And when I hit it, it's like I blew back and I fell on the ground. But when I fell back, we were no longer inside of the house. We were actually outside of my house and we were on a porch. So whatever I did, it got them out of my house and we were on the porch. So all 3 of them now. And the 2 guys, they're like standing on the stairs, like it was probably like 6 stairs coming up to the porch. And so they were each on the stair, one on the lower one on a little bit higher one. And this woman like at the top of the stairs. And she's still standing there. She looked like a freaking statue, you know. But when I realized we were outside now, I was laying on the ground on my back, right? It like took like all the strength out of me. I'm laying on the ground on my back and I'm looking up. And I couldn't move, but I was there and I could see what was happening. I said, Yah, help me, please. I don't know what I did, but I need your help, you know? And so it was like this statue, she came in, it was like she looked down at me, trying to get up because I didn't know what she was about to do to me. And I couldn't move my body. And I'm trying to scream, like I'm trying to scream, but the scream wasn't coming out. So I just began to think. It was like I knew to like just pray in tongues. So in my mind, I began to pray in my prayer language. And as I began to pray in my prayer language, it was like my body was like stone, and it was like the stone began to break away, starting at my head, and it released me. And I woke up and I was like, yeah, get me out of here. And it was like it snatched me out of the scene. That's the best way I can explain it. It snatched me out of the scene and threw me back in my body on my bed. And I woke up and I'm trying to sit up, but I couldn't sit up. But I remember, okay, I must have just been astral projecting. Give my body a second, right? So about 10, max 15 seconds later, I was able to move my body and get up. I'm like, huh, what was that? I got up off the bed, walked through the house, checking all the windows, checking the door, came back in the kitchen, looked out the window. Then I went back to the front door, opened it up so I could make sure the screen door was locked, closed the door, locked it back. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that was. I don't even know why. Oh, before I walked out the room, I realized because James had dozed off. I looked at the screen and what was happening on the Jungle Cruise. The rock apparently had been turned into stone. right? This was like the ending scene. Like I said, I didn't even go back and rewind it to see what had happened, because when I saw that, I just immediately thought that it was the movie, because it seemed like whatever that they had got into, it turned him into stone, and the girl, whatever she saved the day, I don't know what she did, but she was running back towards him, and as she was running back towards him, it was like the stone began to break away off of him, like, you know how you would look at Medusa, something turn you into stone, and it was like the stone began to break away, because whatever the girl did, she fixed it, and he was his normal self again, and the movie went off, they went to Europe, and that was it. So I was like, okay, so maybe it was something that came out of that movie that attacked me, or that's what I was thinking. And after I had saw that, I got up, went through locking doors and stuff, but came back, got to bed a little bit later. Bella had woke up, and we were sitting there, we were just watching regular TV, and she turned. I saw her jump. She at the foot of the bed, and she like jumped and looked. It was just me. It was just James was knocked out. Just me and her. Was just woke. Everybody else asleep. She said, "Ma." She kicked me. She said, "Ma." I said, "What, Pooh?" She said, and she looked over at the chair. She said, "That chair just moved." I said, "Y'all better quit playing." I said, "Whoever in here, you're not welcome. Get out." Right? So that was that. Now, let me tell you what freaking happened to me last night. That was the first night, right? Remember, I gave you a little preview ahead of time. There was a book that I had brought into the house. Did not connect it with the book yet, right? Because I hadn't really opened it. I just brought it in, set it on my nightstand. So I fell asleep last night. James came in. Just regular TV news was on or whatever. And Josiah was woke. Joshua, Bella, and Isaiah was asleep. Jeremiah was up, but he was in his room. So we were laying there. He was sitting there, having his father-son talk with Josiah and everything, fully woke, and I dozed off. Laying on the side of the bed. Look, I fell asleep. I fell asleep just like this. I don't know why I fall asleep. Sometimes it's comfortable. I could be cold or something doing like that. And I just, sometimes I put the blankets up and I just leave my arms in this position, right? I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Whoo, okay. I know we ain't got started yet, but I got to tell y'all what happened, because this is really to freak me out. Okay. Shayla, hey girl, hey. Linda, hey girl, hey. Trina, betwabble. Listen. Okay. So last night, when I dozed off, James and Josiah, they having their conversation, giggling, all that stuff, but I fall asleep. I don't even remember that I had a dream. But when I woke up, and I wasn't asleep that long, maybe 5 minutes, right? And so you know how you go into that in-between sleep when you waking up. I wasn't asleep that long, so I couldn't have went to REM sleep and come back that fast. But I was going into it, and I was right there in that in-between state where a lot of spiritual activity be happening. I was right there. And I heard talking. I knew I could decipher between the TV. I could decipher between James and Josiah talking, but I heard other voices speaking. I missed a whole something. Okay, let me pause this. Let me go back, because I think this part might be important. I just remember this. Okay, so when that had happened, the first night, and I came back, I'm like, Father, what was that? And I clearly heard Julian spirits. So I'm like, Julian spirits? What are Julian spirits? Like, I'd never heard that before, right? And so, of course, I go Googling. And, of course, Julian spirits pop up. But the type of Julian spirits that pop up, it was from Madagascar, the cartoon. Is Madagascar Disney? It's okay.
Oh, that's Disney.
Okay, it was the Madagascar animated movie, right? With the African animals and stuff, that Madagascar. King Julian, right? But that's the only thing that popped up. I'm like, King Julian, and because I love Madagascar, but that was the only thing. It was different groups singing and stuff. I was like, no, that don't feel right. So I kept going back to the Madagascar movie. I was like, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. And so far, I haven't really come up with anything, right? But that's the only thing that pop up. Not saying it may not even be there. I could get my answer in a few days or whatever. But I'm okay. So remember that. I'm like, okay, Julian spirits. And of course, I went through my whole prayer and thing. I was like, well, you're not welcome, And whatever I didn't open, Father, forgive me. I need you to neutralize it, kick them out. They can't come here anymore. They can't. Look, I said, you can't come. I went through the line. I said, you would not harass me. You would not harass my children. You would not harass anybody in my family. Not on my mama's side, not on my daddy's side, not on my husband's side. Like, I went through the whole list, right? I was like, because that was crazy. Like, you know, Christianity kind of kicked back in, binding up demons and stuff. But it works, you know. So I'm like, okay, we got to decipher through some of this stuff. I'm sorry. So, okay, so that, remember that part right there, Julian spirits. If anybody know, if anybody ever heard of that, Julian spirits, let a sister know. Okay, so I'm back to last night. I wake up, I'm in this in-between state, and I could clearly hear other voices talking in that realm, right? So as I was fully waking up, I go to get up. Mind you, I fell asleep like this, and I go to get up, like I'm fully. When I tell y'all, I was fully woke. I was friggin' fully woke by this time I decided to go sit up. I went to go move my hands, and I couldn't move my hands. And I'm like, but I'm sitting there, and I'm blinking my eyes. I'm thinking I'm blinking my eyes because I could see the whole room and everything that was going on. But apparently I still looked asleep. I could feel my entire spirit inside the outline of my body. This is what I'm talking about. I truly have a different respect for people who may be in comas or people that have these experiences that say that they were woke, they could hear everything, because it was like that state I was in. And so I'm trying to get up. I'm like, you know, so now when I realized what was happening, I'm like, okay, I'm fully woke now. I was like, I'm not, even if I was just astral projecting or having an out of body experience, I am fully woke. I am fully conscious, you know. So I'm like, and I'm just trying to move like, and then I tried to move like my up here and everything, and I couldn't move. And then I couldn't like see like dents like this, but I could see there was a figure standing over me, and they had their hand over this wrist with my watch on. They had their wrist over me, and they were holding me down. And that's when I began. I said, James. Oh, I thought he could hear me. And he steady there having this conversation with Josiah. I'm like, James. That's what I'm saying. I was ready to fight him last night. I'm trying to get his attention. So now I'm fully woke last night, y'all. I'm fully conscious. All this is happening about midnight. I'm fully woke. I'm fully conscious. I'm not in a half sleep state. What I'm trying to express to you. I was fully woke like I am now. And then when I was trying to get his attention, that thing began to like, it wasn't like gripping tighter, but the more I struggled, I could feel the pressure being put down on me. And now I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. So I thought, right? I'm looking at him. He's steady having this conversation with Josiah, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, James. Like if you ever scream loud and you can feel your own screams reverberating through your body, that's how loud I was screaming last night, but he couldn't hear me. I could feel myself inside of my body, like my body was literally just like a shell, but I could feel myself on the inside of my body last night while I'm moving, trying to break away, screaming my husband's name, right? Like screaming. And for like, I promise y'all, it may not have been this long, but I promise you for like 2 minutes, I was screaming James' name. And then when he couldn't hear my screams, I was like, maybe he's being prevented from hearing me. So maybe if I grunt. So I tried, as I started grunting, he heard the grunt. I'm like, I'm doing like that. I'm trying to let it out so at least he could tap me or push me or something, try to see what was wrong. But this Regin just thought I was having like a bad dream or something, because he didn't even like reach over and like, he just kept on talking to our son. I'm like, are you spiritually dense? I'm like screaming, like I'm sweating, y'all. I'm fully woke. Screaming, grunting, trying to get my husband's attention last night, but he didn't even turn around to look. He said, sounds like locked in syndrome, or what you call that? Pseudocoma. Pseudo. It was something, because I couldn't I could listen, like I'm moving around like this. I could feel myself. It was like I could feel my body moving around with inside of my body, but this body, the flesh, wasn't moving. It was like I was just in a deep sleep, but I wasn't. I was fully woke. I was fully conscious, right? I could see the room, I could see the room from laying down. But I was like grunting, but the more I grunted, and he said he heard it, and it was like my grunts were being muffled where I couldn't like grunt anymore. And so I thought about the dream that I had last night where that happened to me. And I said, Yah, help. My husband, this is what I'm saying I'm talking, but clearly I was asleep. But I'm like, Yah, help. My husband cannot hear me. And then I began to pray in tongues again. And I said, Yah. And it was like that wrist that hand that was holding my wrist. It was like they was trying to cover my mouth. But I was getting at this point, I'm sweating and I'm extremely angry. And I'm like, Yah. Whoo. Wow. Then a grip lesson and I sat up and I was like, James. I snatched my glasses off my face. And him and Saya looked at me. I was going off on them last night. I said, I know you could hear me. He said, what? What do you mean? I said, I'm screaming your name for at least 2 minutes. Why didn't you turn around? He said, I heard you grunting. I'm like, you freaking heard me grunting. What did you think? You should have hit me or something. And he looking like, girl. And then I'm explaining to him what was happening. So he get up. He like, man, what the F you doing in this house? I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I said, I don't know what that was, but I could see it. Something was holding me down. I'm screaming your name. I'm trying to get your attention. And y'all standing here having this father-son conversation. And I'm over here struggling and sweating. Like, and I'm mad walking through the house, right? Like I'm going off. And I'm like, and whatever you are, get out of my house. Like, I really looked like a mad woman last night. So I'm like, you know what? I see now, I could possibly see now why some people just kind of like, ooh, don't go near him or her. I don't know what they got going on over there. I can kind of see how that happens now, right? And that is not a fun place to be. So after I came downstairs again and checked all the doors and the windows, and I went back upstairs and I prayed. I'm like, Father, clearly whatever was here, and I don't know if it's still the freaking Julian spirits that I heard you say last night. I said, but something is still here. I was like, so it has to go. And then I'm like, what? And that's when I really started thinking, because I started thinking about the night before. I thought about Bella, what she said. And that's when I realized, okay, in the last 2 days, yeah, right. I was like, that's when I realized you didn't messed up. So I'm like, what has changed? What have I done differently in the last 2 days? But the only thing different, it was these 2 books that I had brought into the house. And that's when I decided to open it up. And I started looking through it, and I started seeing the Aleister Crowley stuff in it. I was like, oh. And then James was like, if you don't get it out of here, I'm gonna get out of here. And he said, get that one out of here too. I was like, that's not it. I'm telling you, that's not it. That book he was pointing to was more of science. He was just looking at the scary face on it. I was like, and I picked it up. I'm like, okay, but I know I got you quite a few days ago, and I'm going through it. I was like, this is more science than anything. Right. In this particular book, I say it's not this one. I said it's one of these 2, and I think it's this one right here. But it was, and now it's almost 1 a.m. It's freaking cold outside, and by this time I'm sitting there. He done already fell asleep on me, and I'm sitting here like, what I'm gonna do? And so,
not tonight.
Oh, not tonight. And you just gonna go to sleep? It's like,
I didn't tell him all the time. You just want.
So I pick up my phone. I'm like, I'm sending this book right back to Amazon, and I open up Amazon. I'm like, look, Trina. Why you say that? Look, Trina said, I guess I'm crazy. I'm ready to come over there.
I know this is your med school girlfriend, but listen,
look, med cruise. Look, So I'm like, okay, I'm sending this book back to Amazon. I put in the refund so I can send it back. I'm like, when they
don't even want
it. Look, yo, clearly, Linda, Linda said, yep, you have to be careful of the things you bring in the home. Clearly, right?
She already knew that. But
look, yeah, I knew that, but like I said, I go and I do the reviews on the books before I bring them in. Trina said, James said, don't be putting me on watch. I need my sleep. Look, I thought I checked it real good, you know, and sometimes if they have it to where you can open it up and look through it, and give you like a little snippet of the book. I'll go through it and I'll read it. I'll look through the table of contents and everything. But this, don't. Like I said, if you're concerned about something you got, email me what you got and I'll let you know yes or no that is or that's not the book. Get rid of it. But I'm telling you, if you had it, you probably don't, then you would know, because it's going to cause some non-physical matter reality things to start happening in your home and to you.
That's true.
And to you. So what I did, I put in for the refund, and I was like, you know what, UPS. Yeah, I thought about it the more. I was like, you know what, this one got to go like right now, because I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. And so James had already fallen asleep. Matter of fact,
you keep on putting me out there like that, like I keep on, like you keep on. Why you doing that?
I'm looking for you to come help me.
Get out of here. Help me.
Like, you heard me grunting. You didn't even turn around and look.
I heard you. I see you over there.
And that's what made me even more mad with him. He heard me grunting because I was using all my strength to project my voice so he could hear me. And he didn't even turn. He just, she probably, she's sleeping, enjoying her sleep. Maybe she's running from a dog or something, Yo,
running through the doggone
listen,
sunflowers.
So let me finish this, because we at 41 minutes. We probably ain't gonna get to my big toe today. I'll read you a little bit of this tablet. Look, so I had to return something before. It wasn't a book, it was some other item that I had got, but it was broken. I sent it back. I was like, you know what? Last time it took UPS 3 days to get here. I ain't got 3 days. I ain't trying to be woke for 3 days and literally be fighting with whatever this thing is. Because right now it's being held in quarantine. I'm like, go back in the freaking book. It's being held in quarantine. So I was like, Father. Yeah, I'm like, Father. I was like, whatever it is, I said, keep it in quarantine. I said, I won't let nobody touch it. Then I'm walking through the house. I came downstairs and Jeremiah was woke. I'm like, you woke? Your daddy sleep. He looking like, what? And he was on the phone with his friend. So I'm like, Jeremiah. So I'm down here about in tears telling Jeremiah what happened. He's like, whoa. Now I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. He said, where is said book? He said, we need to get it out of the house right now. I said, I know. I said, but I need you to walk me to the trash can. Look, because it's dark out there by the tree and I'm scared.
Not you. Not you saying you scared of dark. You telling all our kids go out in dark.
Listen.
You are too hilarious to yourself.
Look, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest.
Hilarious to yourself.
Look, I'm being honest. And so I was like, no, wait a minute.
Believe you.
Look, I'm serious.
This is the reason why you always try to set us up. You think?
No, listen, what I'm about to do, we need
we ain't put the trash cans in the front yard.
No. We need to push Mr. Henry trash can out. Because I'm like, Jeremiah, no, we're not even going to throw it away in our trash can. We're going to throw it away in Mr. Henry trash can. We went out the front door. I kid you not. Went outside. I went to my neighbor's front door. Not his front door.
How trifling is that?
That is trifling. But Mr. Henry wasn't getting attacked like I was. I took this book.
He is too old.
He is
to
too
go
old.
through if what you
Father,
just
keep
went
him
through.
safe.
See, that's
listen.
You don't do that type of stuff, man. I wish you would have said something. You could have.
You asleep.
I would have woke up for that. Now you don't do that.
What was you gonna do with it?
I would have thought I would have went out to the back. I mean, you got
that's still on my property though.
Hey, when the trash went out today,
but it was in the backyard. Yo, look.
You cannot be that serious, yo. That is.
Listen, James be over here talking all this, but he don't be getting attacked like I be getting attacked. He be sleeping good and everything, and he'll rarely have a dream. Oh, I was being chased by a little pit bull. Oh, a little pit bull, and I got otherworldly entities chasing after me. That's I'm like, dude, you don't understand what be happening. That's why I was really ready to fight my husband last night because I'm screaming for help. And he just
out loud.
I'm saying that out loud.
I can't believe you saying that.
Oh, look. So
don't leave that alone.
Look.
Sure
Oh, Mr. Henry, look. He might be. He got cameras too. But it was midnight. It was after midnight. I figured Mr.
That
Henry
man gonna come over with his dogs
Look,
and pistols.
I went out there.
He got the don't tread on me. I'm
gonna go pull Mr. Henry. I'm gonna go push Mr. Henry trash can out. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here and watch y'all. Look.
Come here, Mom.
I'm gonna sit here. As soon as I hear the trash, I'm gonna just walk out there. I'm gonna push that jank right to the end just to make sure. And Father, keep the spirit quarantined so the city workers don't. It's gonna go in the trash or whatever. I don't know. Keep their trucks functioning until it get away. But y'all, whatever was in that freaking book, it something came alive. Look, yeah, I hear refuse to pick it up. What, listen, y'all, I hear ups refuse to pick it up. Doing stunts 101. Could it be a spirit guy telling you to stay away from those books? Man, it probably could have been. I don't know. I should be asking questions. Don't get the people scared because we're supposed to be looking into stuff and make sure we ain't being led astray. Okay. I don't know.
Well, listen.
No, I don't. If it was telling me to, I don't know. I'm not going to count anything out.
You know what?
No. What I think though, I think if it was trying to help me, I would at least been able to break free. But it was tightening its grip and trying to hold me down. Someone gonna get I don't know. It had all this stuff in there about Aleister Crowley and some different type of things going in there that when I first got it, I was like, oh great, the book is here, I'm gonna read it. But I didn't even open it up when I got it. I just took it with the other book that I got and I put it on my nightstand. I didn't even open it until last night after this stuff started happening. I mean, I got it and I just, you know how you get a book. It's like, oh, okay, this looks like it was good. And literally that's what I did. I did like that and I took it and I put it on the nightstand. So, but I did. I went back upstairs. Jeremiah, I was like, Jeremiah, I need you to watch me. I said, I ain't gonna put it in our trash can. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in the neighbor's trash can. That way it's off our property technically and not in the house. And I'm like, Father, keep Mr. Henry safe, but it ain't going in his house. So I got a trash bag. And while I got the trash bag
too?
I didn't waste a trash bag. I purposely put it in the trash bag. This is what I think of your book. I'll put it in the trash bag to let the spirit know you are trash.
You bogus. You know what? You do the most sometimes, bro. You really do. You do extra. You are the meaning of
you
extra.
Tell me I'm doing extra when something is holding you down and you are fully woke and conscious. No, you haven't, James Murphy.
I've been as a young child. Now let's get something straight. Now.
So what has happened?
I'm not scared of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? You be all.
You ain't scared, but you was like, you better get it out of this house. If you don't get it out of this house, I'm leaving. What's all that?
I have children and stuff.
But you ain't say you was taking the kids with you. You said, I'm leaving. Oh, scary tale. Talking about I'm scary. Miss Henry, what you put in my trash can? I don't know. I felt like this should be class enough today. No.
Only if you seen everything last night, Jack. She is extra when I say extra.
He walking slow, just push it out. Tell him just push it out. Look getting all slow.
What you do last night?
Mr. Henry gonna look out his window. He just walking out, talking on his phone. He's supposed to be pushing it. He's supposed to be pushing. What happened? He's looking in the trash can.
He's scared too.
Boy, pull the trash can. Why you walking so slow?
Which one did you put it in?
Oh shoot! He looking there. It's not in there. Holy crap! The brown one.
The brown one, Jeremiah. Yeah.
It's not in there. It's empty. Hold on, I gotta look myself. Wait a minute.
You probably put in the blue one, babe. She's scared, y'all. Like straight up, for real, for real.
He plays too much. He plays too much. What in the world? That's what you get for playing. You see what just happened? Wow. Yo, pull that trash. Look at him. Yo, I tell you, where's his shoe? How did he get that far with his shoe?
Anyway,
what? See,
he's looking at everything that's being assigned. You spooky.
Look, after what happened last night, I'm just like, yo, Mr. Henry, look, Mr. Henry, I'm sorry if you're watching on YouTube. That's why we're pulling your trash can out so the trash people can take it. Jeremiah played too much. That's what he get for playing. He said he looked like it's not in here. It's gone. And he looked at his other trash can. He looked in the recycle. Y'all hear him pulling out.
Mr. Henry gonna come out and say, "Put my trash back. I ain't got no trash in here." And that's stuck.
Let Mr. Henry not even pay attention. He's taking too darn long. She's a piece. Jeremiah be doing the most. But why didn't I burn the book? Because I would have probably had to been on. I thought about it. I was going to. It was too cold. Now there's some things that I come in contact with that I absolutely burnt before. But it was too cold, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna get it off my property. Nikki, it's crazy. I've had things happen to me, but it's always been like in the dream state, but I have been fully conscious, but like that being held down, being fully conscious, not being able to like move or get up like that last night, and then actually seeing, I didn't see the whole body, but I saw the hand. Y'all seen TLC video waterfalls? You've probably seen on different things, or maybe like the Terminator when they turn into like, they look like they're transforming from like this water or metal. That's what it looked like. It was like this transparent, and it had its hand around my wrist, right? And so yeah, but I was extremely bad, and I was sweating, and I was just like, yeah, whoo, wow. When I got the wah out, it just, and it let me go. It disappeared, and that's when I got up screaming at James.
But that's how you know it's a different spirit. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That's how you know.
Definitely, and go back to what Doing Stunt said. It would not have done that if it was a good spirit, so to speak, because the name of Yah broke the hold, you know, so it wouldn't have did all of that. I've encountered different ones, and it's like, what? Trina said, Robert said he be seeing this old lady crouched down on my back or chest. I'm gonna let him tell you about it. See, something out when you be asleep, Trina, girl, I don't know. I'm just like, this is getting a little more real by the day, you know. So I'm just like, okay, there's clearly nefarious, I'm completely aware of them, but I also know that there's entities that'll save your butt from them as well. So it's just like, oh, Father, I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is happening? You know, so, but yeah, so with that being said, that's what happened. I was going to share that with y'all after the reading today. Reading nothing today. But I was like, I wanted to ask y'all, has anybody ever heard of that? Like Julian spirits. I don't know. Maybe Linda in the Barbados. You know, I don't know. I don't know what type of spirit it is. You know, spirits, you know, but the Madagascar movie came up, so maybe they're from, I don't know, maybe the region of Africa somewhere. I don't know. I really don't know. But here is something that I did find out. I think it. So there's a video that Bobby Hemmett did. I'm not sure which one, but he did mention the name of Aleister Crowley, and he talked about towards the end of his life when he had got he was trying to tap into some other spirit, right? But he went over into Africa to do it, and he took one of his scribes. I was half listening to it when he said it, but he started talking about the different spirits in Africa, like the Congo spirits, and wherever he went down to the Congo to do it. I'm like, that's interesting when he said Congo, because there's a few people that I listen to that talk about Congo and everything, and the descendants, and how we're also, you know, come from Congo and everything, right? So I'm like, that's interesting. But I didn't go back and replay it. I said I'm gonna have to go listen to that again and listen to everything he was saying. But I didn't, got sidetracked, started doing some work, whatever. And but later that was a few days. That was almost like a week ago, maybe, that I heard him say that. Now I'm just now remembering it. But when I opened up that book after all that had happened, and I saw Aleister Crowley's name in it, it kind of triggered that a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe Rita, Julian Spears attacking your internet because you keep being muffled. I don't know. Maybe. Auntie Grand Rising. All right, beautiful people. Listen, we already at 55 minutes. Maybe this might be. I don't know.
To talk about each other.
Continue to talk about each other. Is this appropriate for the internet audience?
You got the internet doing way worse than that. I believe that, Jack.
Let me see. Let me look real quick. People got to go to work. It's Wednesday.
People should work.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see. It ain't that long. I don't know. Y'all want to read the fourth tablet today? We're already an hour. If I don't butt in, we might end up about the same time we've been at straddling. Then it said my house had some weird stuff going on when we first moved in. My daughter saw a little girl every night. The toilet would get flushed and no one would use it. I got out the oil and prayed over my whole house and it went quiet. Yeah, that's crazy. The toilet flushing by itself would have freaked me out. Yeah, that's crazy. Obedience to y'all. Thank you for being the guinea pig. I just saw your comment. Maybe that's what I'm telling y'all. Just stay away from certain stuff. If y'all gonna order books, clearly books carry spirits and other dimensions as well. It's a spirit. They can be transported, teleported by anything. So, but yeah, y'all just be careful.
I mean, you guys talking about teleporting, so I mean, let's talk about it. Apparently.
Too soon.
Apparently, touche.
Hold on.
I deal with this all day.
No, you don't.
Man,
you do not.
This is
you do not.
Comedy.
You do not.
Comedy.
It is. It's making noise. I don't know, y'all. All right, maybe we'll just pause. We'll pause. I ain't did nothing today.
You feel useless? Like you having cheese?
I feel like I should have read something. Look, I don't know, but they say in the internet, nothing has changed. It's solid.
It's solid.
It's solid. I don't know, y'all. It's making noise like heavy static on and off. I don't know. Then it said a man voice also shout for her one night. I said, "Did you hear your daddy shout for you?" We realized that daddy wasn't home yet. This is crazy. That was crazy. Like, listen. What Jen? Jen ain't came in here yet because Jen had some crazy stuff like this starting to happen to her. Yeah. I was like, Jen, just go back in your prayer closet and keep praying. I was thinking about everything. I was like, let me keep praying. Not that I stopped, but I was like, shoot, I might need to hunker down just a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I don't know. Anybody got any questions for me? Then we'll do the blessing. I'm going to scroll through and see if anybody asks me some questions. Hold on. I'm going to go through, look on Facebook. I scroll back up. Okay. Okay, I remember. Okay, Rita. Yeah, the calendar. I remember that. Let me make myself note. Share the calendar. Also, I gotta see if they spotted the new moon last night. I kid you not. Over the last few months, it never fails. It could be clear skies, but come time to spot the new moon, it's they spraying and it's cloudy. So I gotta look to see it. I wasn't able to see it last night. Okay, share the calendar. I just read the comments again. Hold on. Yeah, girl, Trina, be careful.
Trina, they watching you.
Don't try to scare my friend.
They watching, girl.
Okay. Let me go back up over here.
I want you to run out your house like a mad woman.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna be ordering no more.
What up?
Ancient books.
Pimp?
No time, so I'm gonna be really careful.
Pimping is too hard. Pimping is not easy.
Joe said, "Oh, I swear this was my reaction." Poor Mr. Henry.
Man got cats, yo. I mean, like, and she just, you do the most, yo.
I don't know.
You look just like your daddy. You know that?
All right, y'all.
I don't know who your daddy is.
The Moon app said it was yesterday. Yeah, I know. The Moon app said it was yesterday, but we're looking for people who were if you go on the Moon app is just like pre-populated and stuff, like something what we were doing. And it's normally right. Sometimes it may be off a day, right? So I'm actually looking for people who was actually able to spot it themselves, you know. So I got
what?
Hold on, let me see. Let me check real quick. I can pull it up over here.
Put no clippers to my head, period.
Okay.
Yes, baby.
You got the wrong bed. Guess what?
I have the wrong bed.
Okay.
How do I have the wrong bed? Do you have the wrong bed?
No. And not in the boys' room. In your room.
Oh,
so, down the field walker is my dog bed.
Okay, see.
How?
I'm looking at a couple different places. It still says pending. It's pending.
That's my dog bed.
Right. I don't.
No
understand.
reports. No reports from Israel either.
No more space for me, and they have to.
Well, Israel's do.
No,
Yeah. No reports from either side. Reports from either side yet. That's interesting. So I'm gonna keep looking. It could be that they've updated this late, but I'm gonna check back in a couple hours and see y'all. But all right, y'all. So if there's no questions for me or anything,
they posted
we might just go ahead and end this today. Right. But we'll do the blessing. I didn't think it was gonna take me that long to tell y'all what happened.
It takes her an hour to tell a story to y'all. It takes her to tell it to moi. Once again, I go through this all day.
Don't do me.
Man, listen, Jack. Man, she talked like 2 hours to me about one, and that's why I'm like,
yeah, he be sitting here like,
come on, cut through.
I'm like, I'm about to call my sister and tell her.
That's why I be like, call me on the phone.
Because my sister be experiencing stuff too. So I'm like, well, she could probably relate. She would understand what I'm talking about. Look, she just came in. Alicia, are you home? I was gonna call you last night while you was at work. Listen, you go back to the beginning of this video, girl. Or if you, I don't know, you off work yet? I know you work the night shift. Listen. If you home, I gotta call you.
You be doing the most.
I do not be doing the most. Baby. I would not wish that on my worst enemy.
What I won't do is lie to you.
Go ahead, Mr. Murphy. Go ahead.
I will not lie to you.
Oh, not yet? Okay. Well, call me as soon as you walk out of that place.
We have some unfinished business to deal with, so we ain't got time to
Well, go back and watch the video so you can see. I told you about to drive home now. I called you yesterday. I told you what happened the night before. Remember, I was telling you about the Julian spirits, what I had heard. Something else crazy happened last night. Go back or call me something. Look, okay, y'all. This is gonna be it for today. Yeah, so this was like obedience to God. Yeah, this was just as important. So that's be on the lookout. This ain't no joke. Like this is like real entities. It's like we're not just like playing around with religion or let's just pick what we want to do and who we really want to worship. We're just tired of church. No, it's not that we're tired of the church. Things is getting freaking weird. And we need to really find out the truth. What's what? What is real? What is not?
It's always been.
I know that the unseen realm is real, right? I'm looking for any type of, if there's something here in this realm that helps us that helps to help us understand a little bit better. That's what I'm looking for, right? Until y'all downloads it to me, until I can understand spiritually what is going on. Mr. Murphy, stop. You better stop. Okay. All right, y'all. Call Bella. So you know what? You need to sit here and do the blessing with me today. We are one.
They scared you. Oh, now we won. They scared you straight.
Boy, I tell you.
Come on. Come on, Bella. Come in, Ma. Oh, my G.
Well, okay, y'all. That's it. Bella need a sister. Yeah, that's what James keeps saying.
She do. She don't want to be alone. That's only the right way. Will you ever deny me?
Mr. Murphy. Are you here doing the blessing?
I'm about to bless you. I'm about to bless you. May he keep you.
Call your daughter down here, sir.
Oh.
Call Bella. Call Bella. Tell her come on do this blessing.
You gonna push me away from me like that?
Call your daughter.
Don't never
so we can
me.
do
Pull
this
me.
blessing. Listen.
Pull me.
Okay, y'all. The blessing is found. 2 babies. Look. Move.
Why you gonna push me away from you?
Blessing is found in Numbers, chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, show some respect.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You see, he playing, not me. Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and unto his son, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahuwah will kneel before us presenting gifts, and will guard us with a hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us.
Yes, you will.
And he will provide us with love, sustenance, and friendship.
Yes, you will.
Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order. And he will, look, see, you got me reading the same thing over again.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
This is so unprofessional.
It's so addictive.
Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order, and he will provide us with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yahuwah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon us, and he will put in place all we need to be whole and complete. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I bless them. All right, beautiful people. Mr. Murphy.
Come on, man.
I love y'all.
Yeah, of course.
Pray my strength in the Lord.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get through it.
Y'all, that's it. We'll pick up with tablet. We're supposed to tablet 4 tomorrow. I was re-listening to it again, and I missed stuff from the first time I was going through it, and I understand it a whole lot more now. So I got a few things to share with y'all when we get to tablet 6 and tablet 7. It's crazy. Sure. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Sure. We out of here. If y'all missed all of what happened to me last night and the night before that, go back and watch the beginning of this video. All right, y'all. Yourself? Love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Right now, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll sit here, wait for this trash truck to come. Make sure Mr. Henry trash can't get dumped. I'll let y'all know tomorrow.
Babe, you can't be serious.
I'm so serious. That book needs to get out of this neighborhood. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Peace. I'm trying to end it with my finger. I got to touch up here.
Hey, I got something for you.
I am still live on YouTube. Bye, y'all. Bye. I am still live.
Well, hurry up and end it so I can go ahead and give you.
Well, you got to wait.